Hi friends! Welcome to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. My name is Juno Palindrome, and today we're going to be doing our weekly check-in. So once a week I do a very deep, detailed, in-depth reading to try to give you as much information on what's happening this week, how things are moving forward, where the energies are, and what to expect as the week is coming up. This week we happen to have a full moon on the 18th of August. Sorry, not a full moon, a new moon. The 18th of August is the new moon this month. So with new moons, they tend to be about what are you building? What are you wanting to come into your life? What are you inviting into your life? And this full moon is going to be a very new moon. Keep doing that. This new moon is going to be a particularly powerful new moon. So it's all about figuring out where the energies are, how things are moving, and what that's going to mean for you. So stay tuned, and we're going to be doing this in-depth tarot reading. Before I show you the piles for you to choose from, I'm going to show you a quick nature meditation. This is just going to get you in the mood, get you going, get you ready, and have you help clear your mind. And then after that nature meditation, I will show you the piles, and then you'll be able to choose your pile and head down into the description section of this video. There'll be a link in that description to click to it, and it'll just take you right to your video. So without further ado, here is a nature meditation, and then I will show you the piles. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be your weekly check-in for what's happening this week with a new moon on the 18th. This is going to be gearing you up. What's happening with your week and on the new moon? How can you prepare for bringing the new things into your life, making the new journey start, taking the first steps towards something brand new? Yeah, what are you asking for this week? What are you asking for this new moon? Let's kind of dive in. First up, we have the Laguz rune. Laguz means flow, and we have it upside down. I don't always read reversals, but I am going to today and just kind of see how it is for the reading. So we want to take this flow that's blocked. For whatever reason, there might be some impediments to your movement, and we're going to take that and we're going to move it right side up, right? We want it to be like that. So we're going to find out with this reading exactly what's going on in your life and how you can reopen within you with this new moon, utilizing the energy of the new moon in Leo. Leo is all about igniting your own personal power. So how can we jumpstart your personal power to allow you to be flowing towards, ultimate flow? It's a good thing to have, right? All right, so first up, I've got a bunch of tarot cards, and then I've got some oracle cards. We'll do the tarot first, and you guys had a bunch of extra cards as well, I remember. So it's gonna be, we got a lot. I'll do these first 3 together. These are the 1JJ Swiss deck, one of my favorite decks here. First up, we've got the High Priestess, the 5 of Wands, okay, and the 2 of Cups. Okay, so the High Priestess, right off the bat, powerful intuition. The High Priestess has the ability to tune within and to see what's happening on the inside, utilizing her intuition above all else, right? She dives deep into her intuitive information. She's able to deeply connect to, the universal things in life. She's able to see exactly what's happening. And then she's able to utilize that knowledge in her own personal life in order to make things happen, to move through reality in a way that's beneficial for her and for those around her. You know, move through life in a way that works. And so you're being encouraged to tap into your intuition this week, especially as you're moving into a new moon, as you, you know, your intuition is going to help guide you in the direction of where you need to be. And it will also help show you what you want in life. So it's the perfect opportunity to dive within and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? And you can bring that into your life. Now with the Five of Wands here, that's showing me that you've been in this kind of struggle period with either yourself or with others. It can talk about being in a stalemate. And since we had the Logos in reverse, right, that's that block of flow, right? So it's coming from either one of two things. And both of these cards kind of indicate that it could be, there's one of two different kinds of people watching this reading right now. For the first group, you've been kind of blocking yourself on the inside, right? That there's been these deep impediments to you based on internal conditioning, patterning, how you move through the world, what your assumptions are, what you assume is possible and not possible versus what actually is, what you assume you have to do versus what you can actually be doing, what you assume you are supposed to be doing based on societal conditioning, how you grew up, your environment. All of these things can really kind of shake us on the inside and get us stuck in this pattern of acting in ways that, you know, aren't necessarily in our best interest, and are just kind of happening because this is what we think we have to be doing based on how we've been conditioned to think. So you kind of had that. But with the Two of Cups here, that was one scenario. The other scenario is that you are in a stalemate with other people around you. You feel like you're constantly battling with other people. You may feel like you are stuck in a way where you can't move forward because there's a bunch of people and conditions and things outside of yourself that are kind of forcing you in this kind of struggle situation. But the thing about it is that regardless of whether it's on the inside in your internal or the external situation, it all kind of goes back to that internal state of mind. That remember, you always have the power, and with the High Priestess here is coming in to remind you this, you always have the power to find the flow for yourself. And sometimes that means walking away from a situation. Sometimes that means walking away from a group of people or, you know, a job, a situation, a living place, any of that. You know, if there might be this struggle, battle energy that's happening there, you know, you remember that you always have the freedom to just walk away from that situation, to not even engage that situation anymore. You can just let that situation go. And you're kind of being encouraged to do so, whether that's an internal situation or an external. You know, you can do the same thing on the inside. If you have a way of patterning so that you see the world in a way that maybe is blocking you, you have the ability to tap in, to tune into your intuition, and to start to see what your own internal patterning is. And catch yourself. Once you start to see it, then you can say, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe I won't do this. You know, I'm going to listen to my intuition right now, which is telling me that maybe that way of operating isn't working for me anymore, and I can actually move on. And that's what this Two of Cups is really talking about, is, you know, it can talk about two things. It talks about either uniting in harmony with another person, or more often than not, for me, the way that I do my readings, and the way that it tends to come out for me, is it talks about uniting the opposite and opposing forces within yourself, to really fusing any separate entity, like, not entity, but elements within your being, really fusing those things back together so that you are one whole human being, one whole person. And by walking away from some situations potentially, or walking away from internal patterning that isn't working for you in your life anymore, you have the ability to come back into harmony with your own internal light and your own internal being. And by doing so, you actually free yourself of whatever this drama might be. You know, if you were stuck in a dramatic situation, remember, your intuition is coming in to tell you, you don't have to be a part of that, you know. And if drama's happening around you, you know, maybe it's time to walk away from whatever that is, you know. Like, that might be a good indicator for you that maybe that situation isn't for you anymore. You know, maybe those people aren't the best for you. Maybe that life situation isn't working. You know, whatever that is, whatever this is for you. And like I said, it could be completely internal as well. You know, whatever that is, you have the power to walk away from it, always. And you have the power to really come back into alignment with who you are, your own inner being, and love yourself, you know, and like really tap into that and like, yeah, unite those forces within you. So next we're going to be doing cards from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. You got 4 of these, so let's see what they all are. Okay, yeah, we've got loss here. This card talks about being in a situation where, you know, some difficult things have happened and some difficult situations have happened for you. We'll get into these in a minute. I just want to lay them all out and then we'll dive right in. You've got the Magician. Wow, power, right? That connects right into that intuition. Exactly what I was talking about. That's insane. That's amazing. Okay, cool. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, friend. Okay, this new moon is coming in with some incredible freedom for you, just breaking out of whatever this was. You know how that stuck Lagos is, that Lagos is flipping right around for you through this reading. This is incredible. And the Emperor. Yep. Okay, perfect. So like I was saying before, right, with this struggle energy, right, I do think maybe it is a little bit external for some people here, because I think that you've been through a lot of loss in the past. I think that you've been through really difficult and challenging situations and some really, really hard things. And so I'm just reminding you and encouraging you, and this reading is as well, to remember that the past is done. And I know that that's not always easy to hear, but everything that has occurred to you in the past has gone. And so it is important to mourn the loss of things. It's important to feel your feelings, always. Remember, it's so important to feel your feelings, because if you don't feel them, you're going to be blocking them off, and you're just going to be holding them inside. So feeling your feelings releases those feelings, and then you can move on with your life. Holding on to your feelings, not feeling them, repressing your feelings, holds them within you, and then they just take over and they block you and they just fester, and it's a very unpleasant experience that I have absolute 100% firsthand knowledge with. So I just want to let you know that always easier to feel your feelings. Don't block it. But the thing about it is that once you release those 3 cups that have fallen over, this card is also reminding you that you have 2 cups left remaining, right? That there's these 2 cups that are upright behind you. And it's that kind of like perspective shift that's really present in this reading, that's so beautiful. Because it's all about this idea that even in our darkest hour, even on our darkest day, right, there's still something in our lives to be grateful for. There's still something in our lives that's present, that's beautiful, that's helpful, that's wonderful, right? There's always something, and it might be small, right? It might be small. It might be, well, at least I have this physical form that I can interact with the world. I can move myself out of here. I can, you know, even with disabilities, we have the ability to move through the world, to make things happen. We have hands to produce things. We have so much available to us at any moment. And this card, it really kind of reminds you that even when things aren't working, and in fact, sometimes it's at those darkest moments when we start to see for the first time all the things in life that we truly have to be grateful for. And that perspective shift into what do I have in life to be grateful for? What am I grateful for? What am I happy that's here right now? You know, by doing that perspective shift, you actually transmute your mind. That is one surefire way to help alleviate depression. And trust me, I know I have been chronically depressed in my life. I have been so stuck and lost in my life. I have been to some horrible and, well, not horrible, but, you know, some just really, really dark places in life. I've been there. And so it's important to remember that when, you know, it's also important to remember if you are in that kind of stuck period, and I don't necessarily see that for you, but I think that maybe you have been before, it's important to remember that, you know, things take time. It takes time to move out of those cycles. You know, nothing happens in an instant. But if you put in the work that you put in will never go away. I firmly, firmly believe that. When you put in the work on yourself, if you're willing to work on yourself, if you're willing to put in that work only grows you. It only builds you up stronger. And then you always have that to fall back on in a challenging situation. And so I think that maybe if you're in a challenging situation with other people right now, if that's what's happening in your life, you're really being encouraged to remember that you're very strong, that you're a very strong person, that you've been through difficult situations before and you've made it through those situations. And you're being encouraged to remember those situations and to transform anything that's happened in your past, any of those experiences, into deep wisdom, so that you have that wisdom within you in order to fuel you moving forward, so that you're not, you're not stuck in this, oh my God, I don't want this to happen, oh my God, energy, to, no, you know what? Challenging things have happened to me before. And what did I learn from those challenging situations? I learned X, Y, and Z. And now that I'm in this situation, X, Y, and Z is helping me get through this. And it's going to make it easier. And it's going to be even simpler to move through this. And it's not going to affect me in the same way. It's not going to hurt me in the same way. All of those things, you have access to that now. And with the Magician card here, that is telling me that you are tuning back into your intuition. You are tuning back into the divine, or the higher self, or however you want to conceive of it, the universe itself, your guides, your spirits, your angels, however you want to conceive of it. It's up to you. But you're tapping into the great beyond, And the thing about the Magician is that not only are they able to do that with this intuition card, not only are they able to tap into those other realms, but they're able to bring them into this world. The Magician card is the only card in the entire tarot that has all 4 of the elements existing within it. There's a pentacle, a cup, a sword, and a wand, which means that they are able to balance and transform and transmute the energies and the forces of the world around them in order to create anything. So they're able to bring that energy through from the other side and transform reality around them. It's a really inspiring card. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, I always translate the Wheel of Fortune to mean a fortunate happenstance coming to you. That fortune is on your side right now. With the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune together and the High Priestess here, you might have had some challenging situations, and you might even be in a challenging situation, but it might be fueling you to change your perspective, to really launch yourself into something brand new, and it's going to be completely amazing. And with the Emperor card here, you're being encouraged to keep a level head as it's happening. You're being encouraged to remember that you have the ability to be the emperor in your life and in your situation, which means, the Emperor never makes brash and rash decisions. The Emperor is level-headed. The Emperor is calm. And the Emperor is able to make things happen. He's able to go out and do things and make things happen. And he's able to connect to the people that need to be connected to. He's able to balance the things that need to be balanced. He's just able to make things happen. And because of that, you're being encouraged, like if it's time to walk away from some people or even some internal patterning or whatever's going on with you, right? You're being gifted this gift with the Emperor to know that you have the clarity and the calm of mind to make it happen. And to remember, like I was saying at one point, that things take time, right? To remember that things take time. If you're trying to transform your life or your circumstances, it takes time. But use the moon. That's the thing about these new and full moon cycles, is that we actually have the ability to use those cycles to fuel our lives, to help us with that, right? You have an entire moon cycle coming in now to do that. So I would encourage you to write things down, write what it is you want in life, write what it is that, your ultimate fulfilling thing would be, but then also, write where, like, the steps that can help you make it happen, right? But really, I'm encouraging you to dream for what comes next, and to give yourself the time and the space to make that happen. You're being encouraged to do that. And with that Emperor card here, that planning energy, you've got that. So really, really take this new moon as an opportunity to look at what you want to have come in, and then use that entire moon cycle to fuel that manifestation for you. You know, so you build it so that it culminates on the full moon, and then with that full moon, as it continues to release, right, you have that entire moon cycle to build this, to move forward, and to catapult you to the next new moon. And that's kind of like, you know, I use the moon as my ultimate planner, really. I know it sounds silly, but it's the oldest calendar we have. It's the first human calendar, I believe. I'm sure it is. You know, the moon cycle and the movement of the stars. You know, ancient peoples have been using these tools for our entire existence as human beings. And so, you know, you're really being encouraged to remember that that tool is available to you. And that there's such a huge history of humanity utilizing that tool, that once you start using it, it'll click into place super easily, because it'll feel familiar, because it's a part of all of our collective unconscious, whether we believe it or not. You know, the moon is always there. It's always there, and it's so close, and it has such an effect on the world. You know, even gravitationally, right? It pulls the tides. Like, that's incredible. That the moon itself is responsible for how much the ocean comes in and goes out from the tide. Like, that's pretty incredible. Tidal forces, that's an actual physical force, you know, that's existing on all of us. We are, on some subtle level in our bodies, feeling that subtle force. So anyway, yeah, I don't mean to get too far into the moon there, but like, it's helpful. Finally, we have from the Hermetic Tarot, you have another 4 cards. I've been using this one because I have a hand-drawn deck I normally use, but I'm using it for a separate project right now as I'm building something. So yeah, actually, as I'm building my hand-drawn tarot deck, if you want to learn more about that, please feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/JunoDrone. I'll tell you about it later. But anyway, I'm starting a Patreon, and you can get first-hand access to my hand-printed tarot deck that way. Anyway, let me keep up the reading. I'm going to do my whole marketing spiel at the end of this, so you'll get that from me. First up, we've got the Knight of Wands. Ooh, okay, great. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, great, friend. We've got the 2 of Cups again. Okay, okay. And we've got the Page of Pentacles. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so whatever it is that you're building now here too, there's definitely some major abundance coming in for you. So this new moon is also bringing you the opportunity to build abundance for yourself, which is beautiful. And I think it's kind of connected. As you leave behind the struggle energy, as you leave behind maybe some people and some situations and some places and some things that are causing you to feel blocked with that Laguz rune, you're actually opening yourself back up to flow, and that flow is actually opening you up to abundance. So maybe you're trying to build abundance right now. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's coming in for you, because you have the 9 of Pentacles, which talks about basking in your own abundant energy and having the finer things in life present and coming in for you. The thing about it is that it's a card where she's in her own private garden. She's in alone, kind of enjoying it for herself, and she's allowing herself to enjoy it for herself. So it's talking about how it's okay sometimes to do that, to build abundance for yourself, you know, and you can share it later. You know, you can share what you can, but it doesn't mean, it means that you don't have to share everything, right? You don't have to share all of your energy. You don't have to share all of yourself all the time. You don't have to share everything. You can keep some things for yourself. You can enjoy it for yourself. And by doing that, by going off alone to do that, it's going to allow you to build in this new phase of being, so that you can then take that abundance and do whatever you need with it, you know? Like, you can take that and share it later, but you want to build it for yourself first, and that's okay. You know, you also, you know, we all are allowed to find comfort for ourselves, you know? Like, there's nothing wrong with finding comfort for yourself. You can still be a kind and generous and loving and nurturing person and help people and move people and collect abundance and receive abundance. It's okay to receive, you know? So I really feel like you're coming back into that, especially with the Page. Here's the Princess, but the Page of Pentacles as well. It's talking about a new start in that. So you're opening yourself up to a new start in this abundant energy that's really coming in for you as you learn to let go of whatever struggles have happened in the past, as you learn to let go of any loss that you may have been feeling from certain situations. As you let go of those things, you're really opening that up to you. And here we got the Two of Cups again, right? The Two of Cups again is coming in. So whenever a card shows up in a reading twice, that is a clear signal for me that this is a deeply important message for you. So the Two of Cups is all about, like I said, it's reuniting with those forces within you. It's combining those two opposing forces, and not necessarily two, but anything that might have been blocked up in yourself, moved around in yourself, just like not present within you. You have the ability with this Two of Cups coming in to fuse those energies together, to bring it all back together. And that is a deeply, deeply beautiful thing. So I'm really excited for that for you, you know. And then finally, the card here is the Knight of Wands, and the Knights are all about movement in the suit. They're how things are moving forward. And with the Wands energy in particular, that's all about connecting to your passions and your drive, right? That Magician card and that Intuition card, the Wands is kind of that connection point between the two. So what fuels you forward? What keeps you going? What are you jazzed about? What lights you up in life? What makes you want to go and do and make things happen? And you are connecting to that energy right now deeply, and that is the movement that's bringing you forward. You know, you're following your dreams, and it's going to be deeply abundant for you. So I'm so excited for you, pile number one. Those are your tarot cards. We're going to move on to some of the oracle cards real quick here. First up, I have from the Fairytale Lenormand. I read this mostly just as symbolism. You've got the birds. Okay, so the birds to me always talks about spirit guides, guides, intuition, angels, the team on the other side. Now, like I said before, you don't necessarily have to believe in that, but I deeply do. You know, and I'm gonna give you that message in this is that it's you have a team on the other side that's egging you on, you know, that wants to help you. And it's reminding you that there are symbols and signs outside of you, you know, in the world around you, all the time. There are signs and symbols and recognition that the universe is moving with you, right? Because we are not separate from the universe. Western discourse has spent a lot of time teaching us that, you know, we are just brains in a vat, and you know, our consciousness is some weird fluke that only exists on its own, and it's purely theoretical, right? Or, you know, all of that. And like, it just takes out the phenomenological understanding of what being embodied as a human being really is, right? And then that connection point between the world around us and what's happening, this occurrence between you and me and the world outside of us, right? We are both our bodies and the wind blowing in our hair. We are all of that. I am the chair in front of me as much as I am my physical being, because I am made up of the same atoms, you know. My brain is just energy, and there is energy moving in this light. I am the same energy as the light that's shining on me right now. I'm all of it, you know, and you're all of it too. And every one of us is all of it. We are all in that together. We are all one thing, you know, and that's kind of this energy of like why it's important to, you know, it's just important to remember that. And like your angels and your spirits or your guides or whoever you connect to, your ancestors, passed on loved ones, you've got people rooting you on the other side. And like, you're being encouraged to tune into that right now, that remembering that by seeing the signs around you in life around you. And maybe it's birds, you know, whenever you see a bird. I know that's for me. When I see birds, I'm intimately connected to that idea. And that's a fuel for me. It's a reminder that, okay, things are okay, that I have help, that I'm not alone. I'm not alone. You're never alone in this world. Even if you're physically alone, you're never actually alone. Because, I mean, and that's kind of a spiritual thing, and I don't need to get too into spirit with you, but that's my feelings about it, you know. And when you're connected into spirit that way, it actually is a deeply freeing thing, because then, you know, you're not desperate for anything, you know, because you already have enough, and now it's just building on top of that. You are enough as you are, and now you can build on top of that instead of always needing, you know? If nothing is ever enough and you just need, it's never going to be enough because you got a black hole in you, you know? You've got that opening that just needs to continuously be fed. And that it's not going to help you, you know, to be really in that energy, you know. So you're just being encouraged to open yourself back up, to move into something new, and to move on from any past situation that's been, you know, deeply painful for you, and that's okay. You're being reminded that it's okay. And next up we have from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Wheel of Fortune again. Look at that. Okay, remember what I said about cards coming up twice. So there you go. Fortune is on your side now. It is on your side. You have it twice in this reading. We got more birds energy here, some nighttime. We got a moon on there. So this new moon is opening you up to your fortune, you know, and it's just going to come from you understanding who you are, where you are, reuniting any parts of yourself that need to be reunited, coming back into harmony with you and your inner being. Who cares what anybody else says, you know, with that Five of Wands? At the end of the day, who are you going to be with for the rest of your life? Are you going to be with those people for the rest of your life? Not necessarily. Are you going to be in those circumstances for the rest of your life? Not necessarily. But you know who you're going to be with the rest of your life, always and forever, is you. So if you learn how to become in harmony with you, if you learn how to love you no matter what, then you can do anything. You can move anywhere. You can become anything, you know, and you don't have to be anything because you're already you, you know. You're already you. It's just a matter of coming back into that and accepting that and loving that no matter what. You're worthy of love just as you are. You don't need to achieve anything, you know, and by building a foundation, a strong foundation of self-love, you can move anywhere in life. I'm serious, but it's got to come from that foundation of self-love, because otherwise you're going to be drawn into this kind of battle energy, because you're going to need to, you know, when you have all your needs met outside of yourself instead of inside of yourself, you are forced to be stuck in these contingencies and pulled into these situations and pulled into these dramas and pulled into this stuff, you know, that's gonna be really hurtful for you and really harmful. And the way that you pull out of that is by reminding yourself that regardless of these external conditions, regardless of what's happening outside of yourself, if you are good with you, if you're cool with you, then like nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. So let's see what else you've got. We've got two cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle that I'm going to read directly from the book. First up, you've got Struggle, which is so fitting because we talked all about struggle just a minute ago. So let me read it from the book just to kind of gauge what it's talking about here in your situation in particular. Struggle is a part of this life, so much so that you probably know people who seem to constantly attract one struggle after another into their lives. This is their comfort zone. While struggle is natural, it is natural only so far as it lends itself to learning lessons and overcoming interpersonal challenges. Beneath every one of these struggles is the gift of enlightenment, the satisfaction of a lesson learned. Use this knowledge as the light at the end of your dark tunnel. What lesson is this struggle teaching you? Alternatively, after a brief setback, this situation will start to right itself. So yeah, you know, remember, like with that struggle stuff, especially if this is an internal situation, right? If this isn't external people, if it's in your mind, that I was talking at one point about with the Lost card, about learning lessons from it, transforming experience into wisdom is so important. And that's what's going to move you forward to this new moon energy and all of this stuff going on, is that like, the idea is that struggle can teach us things, you know. By being in a struggle, we can learn a lot, but we have to transform that learning into wisdom so we can move on and we can let the struggle go. So you're being encouraged to transform that. Like, what have I learned from this situation? And now, am I ready to walk away from it, right? Am I ready to let it go? Have I learned all that I can? Can I move on into something new? Am I ready to move into a new thing? You know, you're being encouraged to ask yourself all those questions. And then the final card is from the Shamanic Healing Oracle as well. We have the Reunion of Souls. Interesting. Let's take a look at that. Let me read from the book for the Reunion of Souls as well. There is a school of thought that says before our souls come to earth, we make contracts or agreements with other souls. At one point in time, we appear in each other's lives to assist those involved in learning a lesson, being a catalyst for a needed change, or to share in profound joy. When a person comes into your life to teach you a lesson, no matter the human form, no matter the human experience, this agreement is based in love. The human experience may have been painful and extremely challenging. Acknowledge the depth of love needed for this contract to take place, and then let them go. The experience may have been profoundly moving, but ended abruptly and without reason. Again, be grateful and move on. Cherish the lessons and move forward into your life the way it was meant to be. Yeah, so, you know, that kind of talks exactly like what I was saying. Like, if you're in this with other people, you know, if there's a situation going on with others that's happening for you, and it's time to let those people go and to move on to a new life, you know, allowing yourself to do that is okay. Allowing yourself to move on is okay. It's all right. It's all right to let people go. It's all right to let situations go. It's all right to let things go. That doesn't mean that you don't love them anymore. That doesn't mean that you hate people. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you're ready to move into something new. And you should allow yourself to do that. You should allow yourself the ability to move into a new situation in life, because it's your life. And at the end of the day, what do you need to do for yourself, right? What do you need to do? Because it's your life, and you're being encouraged to do that. You know, you're being encouraged to look at, what do I need for me? And to give yourself permission to follow your dreams, to give yourself permission to follow your intuition and the magician and that nudging energy that's trying to pull you along, that's trying to pull you into this new life that you're going to be way more happy with this Wheel of Fortune, that you're going to be, you know, receiving abundance from with the Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here, that you're going to be following your passions and your drive and moving towards your own drive and inner guidance with this Knight of Wands here. So really, 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 I see such beautiful things coming in for you, pile number one. I think this new moon is going to be a catalyst, jump-starting you in a direction that's going to bring you a lot and is going to make you really happy. And so, you know, I'm really excited for you. And yeah, that was your reading, pile number one. Let me know in the comments either way what you think of that. I think that was a beautiful, beautiful reading, super in-depth. I'm really excited for you this week. So congratulations. And if you ever like a more detailed reading, I know we got into a lot with this reading, but I can get even more detailed for you specifically in your life, in your situation. We can dive super in depth and talk about what's going on, how things are going. If you have any specific questions about situations specifically in your life, I can talk to you in depth about those. So just check out my website, www.junodrome.com. I have a couple of different reading options available for you, so please feel free to check those out. And you can give me a little message whether you want a reading or not. Either way, I've got a little chat function there, so if you ever need to talk to me, that's a way you can get a hold of me as well. And then finally, I'm incredibly excited to announce that I have launched and started a Patreon page that you can help support me even better. I was talking about it a little bit earlier in this reading, but that's available at www.patreon.com/JunoDrome. The thing about that Patreon page is I've got some extra bonus perks, including a monthly supercharged reading to just find out what's going to happen for the month at the beginning of the month. For some levels, there's a mid-month reading as well, where we will dive in and check in and see, okay, this is what we knew was going to happen this month. How is that applying to you in your life in that situation? And then for other levels too, I have there'll be a live chat reading, a group chat reading, so we can all talk together, and I can do some reading and we can really talk and you can ask questions and we can chat face to face and start to build our community together that way. I'm super excited about that. And then finally, for one of the levels as well, I'm building my own hand printed tarot deck that I'm incredibly excited about, and you'll be able to get firsthand access to that because each month I will send you a card in the mail with my own interpretation of that card so that you can build up my whole deck over time. And you'll get, some extra little bonus content from me that way. So anyway, check out the Patreon. I would love it if you could help support me that way too. And yeah, that was your reading, pile number 1. I hope you have an incredible week. This was a beautiful, beautiful reading. See ya. Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is your reading for checking in to see what is happening for you this week. So the thing about this reading is that each week I try to give you a super, super in-depth, detailed reading about what's happening in your life and in your situation. And we really dive deep into kind of figuring out what's going on, how things are moving for you, where are the energies going for you. And yeah, so this is going to be your reading. It's going to be super in-depth, super supercharged, and we'll figure out what's going on. Something that's happening this week is that on the 18th of August, we have the new moon. And so new moons are a really, really great time for kind of tuning back into what we want to have happen in life, what we're trying to make happen, what we're trying to move into being and creating and allowing for ourselves. And so this reading is going to be all about that. What things are ready to come into your life? What things are you ready to build? What things are you ready to really build up and create for yourself? So the first thing that we have here is the rune. You have the Nathi's rune, which talks about constraint. It talks about being in kind of a stuck energy or an energy of things not quite moving forward as quickly as you need. And so with the new moon here, hopefully we'll get some insight as to how you can unlock that, how you can stop that constraint from happening, how you can open your energies back up and really move you and catalyst you into that new beginnings energy that's going to be present for you on the 18th, which is great. You have enough time to watch this reading and really start to prepare for that. First up, I've got your tarot cards, and then I've got a bunch of oracle cards for you as well. We're going to dive into the tarot first, and I'm going to read these together in sections. So first up, you have from the 1JJ Swiss deck, one of my favorite decks. The first 3 cards is 6 of Wands. We've got the Moon. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which I just want to make sure I can show this in a way that you can see them. Okay, so interesting. So we've got these cards here kind of talking about what's going on in your energy. With the moon, I'm immediately getting this idea that maybe you have some things that are blocked, especially with the constraint here, right? It's like you maybe have felt potentially like you don't see all the steps forward, right? You don't really know exactly what's going on. But the thing about the moon is that it's also talking about the intuition. So it's like you can dive deep into really tuning into your own intuitive abilities and your own intuitive connection. And by doing that, you'll be able to clear up any uncertainty that may be around. And you have the 6 of Wands here, which is the victory card. So that alone is telling me that this week, as you move into this new moon energy, you might not know everything that's going on. You might be unclear about certain situations going on in your life right now, and that might make you feel like you're blocked. But this unblocking is going to come from you tuning back into your intuition and connecting back into your own inner voice. and your own inner guidance. And by doing that, you are really going to be tuning back into this victory energy. So with this energy that's going on right now for you, I've got, with the moon here, like I was saying, there is you might be blocked, right? With the constraint in the moon here, you might not know exactly what's going to happen yet. But you've got the Queen of Pentacles coming in, and she is this kind of like very openly sharing abundance. She's in her abundance and she's open to share it. She's open. And you have the victory here too, which is giving this sort of celebration energy. So I'm really kind of seeing that you're going to be in a position to really kind of celebrate your own being in your own self and your own energy and in flow and making things happen for yourself. I kind of see that coming in for you this week, and really kind of tuning back into it. You know, with this moon energy here, just with this particular card, I'm really tuning into this person who's playing the lute here, and that somebody is like, you know, she's watching that and really enjoying it. You know, there's that kind of like romantic energy. So first off, maybe you have some romance coming in. I'm not entirely sure, but potentially too with this, like, the Queen of Pentacles is all about sharing that abundance, and she's really open to sharing that and celebrating. But the other thing about this card as well is the music, right? The music, the energy of the music, allowing the music to help and guide you, moving you forward. I really kind of see that ability for you. And it's really beautiful. So let's read some more cards to just try to gauge a little bit more of what's going on for you in your situation. We've got 3 cards here from the Rider-Waite Smith deck. First up, we have the Strength card. We've got the Fool. Okay, all right, new beginnings for you for sure. And we've got the 5 of Swords. Okay, so yeah, I think that you know, I think you're coming out of that constraint. I really do see that. So I'm not entirely sure what that was talking about there. You know, if you felt blocked in the past, you know, I think you're about to move into something new, especially with that Fool energy there. The Fool card is about new beginnings. It's about starting journeys. It's coming to a new sense of you. It's the very beginning of the entire tarot deck. So it's the very first card. And it's like really kind of allowing yourself to have those new beginnings, to have those new starts, to have those new journeys. And with the Strength card there, you know, you're being encouraged to tap into your own inner strength, your own inner ability. The thing about this card is that it's not only is it the Lion, which is the going out and charging out energy, that like attack, make things happen. Like you have that kind of strength, but you also are the Maiden as well, who is loving and nurturing and kind and is able to tame that strength. So you're not only the Lion, but you are the connection between the Maiden and the Lion, the taming of that energy, the using of that strength to further peace and to further the own peace of your own life and your own situation. So you're really kind of being encouraged to dive into that strength energy this week. And with the 5 of Swords there, the 5 of Swords is kind of like, to me, it can talk about deceptive energy. It can talk about difficult people around you, but it can also talk about walking away from situations. It can talk about, you know, overcoming. I think that maybe in this sense it's overcoming because you also have the 6 of Wands, which is victory. So I think that you're overcoming whatever this blockage might have been. You're overcoming the unknown. You're moving past the unknown. And really freeing yourself up from that to start this new journey. And you know, you're going to be supported through it with that Queen of Pentacles there. You're going to be supported as you move through that. So yeah, let's look at the next cards that you have. You have 3 from the Hermetic Tarot here. We've got the 3 of Wands. We've got the Hanged Man. Yeah, okay, for sure. Yep. And then final card we have is the 9 of Swords. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. The constraint energy's kind of coming through a little bit more here. I do think you've been feeling really blocked right now. I think that it's been a little bit challenging for you to move forward because you feel stuck, right? You feel like you might be stuck. The thing is, though, oftentimes with the Hanged Man in particular, it's not only that this person is stuck, it's that they are actually it's for a purpose, right? It's like they had to slow down and stop what was going on in order to gain further insight. They had to stop all of their momentum because it was going in a direction that wasn't working. And because they stopped, now they're able to get answers. They're able to allow things in. They're able to figure things out more, so that they can actually move forward with their life. So I think that's beautiful. So you know, the Nine of Swords is talking about being anxious, having anxiety energy, really kind of being in that like anxious period. And so, you know, I think if that's going on, if you're feeling really anxious right now, if you're stuck in anxiety, you're going to be in the position to move through it and to move beyond it, because you also have the Three of Wands here as well. And the Three of Wands is like this, it's like your ships are coming in. It's a man who is standing off on the cliff and looking out into the horizon, and there are ships sailing back to him, at least in the Rider Waite Smith deck. And because of that, you have like this beautiful, like you've put in a bunch of work, and now you're watching your ships come in, and you're ready to journey off, you know, too. You might be going out to those ships as well. So it can talk about taking journeys sometimes. But I think because we had the Hanged Man here with that Nine of Swords and the Moon and the Fool, like all of these cards, I think the story that I'm getting from it is that maybe you were really in this super anxious period. And so you kind of like had the slowdown and the stuck thing coming in. And now you're able to move through that. Even though you don't see all of the pathway forward, you're actually moving out of that now. You're ready to leave behind any difficult situations. You're ready to leave behind any deception. You're ready to leave behind anything that's not working out for you, and really tap in and start this new beginnings energy. So that is what's coming in for you. And it's really quite beautiful. So yeah, you're ready to just like journey off into the sunset now. And it's coming from tapping into your own inner strength. And remember, you've got victory coming in. So because this is for the new moon, this is about what you're going to plan for the planning coming up. And I think that this new beginnings, new moon opportunity that's present for you is going to be a really great way to supercharge your way forward out of feeling stuck, out of feeling constrained, and to allow your own inner strength to guide you away from this anxiety energy and into this what's next energy. What's next? Ask yourself, okay, what's next? What can I build next? What can I be next? What is next for me in my life? How can I build a new thing? And you have that ability coming in for you. Next up, we have from the Fairytale Lenormand. These are kind of your oracle cards. We got the fish. Okay, the fish, to me, it talks about the ocean. So, you know, you've got the ocean, which is like deeply emotions, but then there's also this flowing energy. So it's moving in the flow, going with the flow. So you're going to be leaving behind this constraint and moving back into a deep sense of flow in that flow state, which is beautiful. But it's going to come from feeling your emotions, right? To me, sometimes the ocean can talk about deep emotions, things that are deeply within us that maybe need to come out. You know, maybe we buried some things and we need to let them bubble up and bubble out and leave us so that we can be, you know, left in this much better, brighter energy. And I really see that possible for you moving forward. So yeah, that's what I got for that one. Let's keep looking. Fish can also talk about Pisces too, and the Pisces is all about the imagination. So maybe you're being encouraged with this Three of Wands here and the new moon and the Fool to imagine another life for yourself. Or not another life, but imagine what's next in life for you. Allow yourself to be open to your creativity and your imagination, and allow it to really flow through you at this point. You're really kind of being encouraged to do that. We've got from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Page of Swords. Okay, which is the Daughter of Swords in this. And the pages are new starts. They're new beginnings. The swords are all about the mind and the mental body and the mental sphere. So to have a Page of Swords coming up, it talks about launching into a new idea. It talks about a new way of thinking, of moving your consciousness into a new way of perceiving the world, perceiving your life, and just new perceptions in general. So in order to get out of this Hanged Man energy, in order to get out of this anxiety, you're being encouraged to change your perspective, to really move into that perspective shift, to open up your mind, to open up your opinions, to open yourself up to a new way of thinking, to a new way of being, and to really open your perspective. You know, you have that ability for you. And with the Three of Wands energy there, like I said, you know, you're opening yourself up to the newness that wants to come into your life. And you're opening yourself up to, you know, new things that are available for you, which is beautiful. Your final two cards come from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, and I'm going to read directly from the book for these as well, because I find that really helpful. First up, you have Death. Okay. And death talks about the end, right? And especially in the tarot, and that's a little bit for this one as well, death isn't just, you know, it's not a bad card. It doesn't just mean endings. It also means new beginnings. It means change. It means radical transformation. And it tends to be, so there's two main cards in the tarot that are major change cards. There's the Death card and the Tower card. The Tower tends to be a little bit more massive external situations occurring, things outside of your control, things are just moving in your environment, and then boom, you know, like stuff happens and everything changes. The Death is a little bit different. It's about an internal transformation. It's about, like, that perspective shift I was talking about, transforming your consciousness so that you're perceiving reality from a completely different perspective. Now you're moving your mind so that you're moving through the world in a different way, because your mind is different. So your whole life changes because your mind has changed. Let me read that from the book as well, so you get somebody else's words too. Death is scary. Endings, whether they are planned or a surprise, are most often accompanied with a sense of anxiety. There you go. Maybe you do have a major end coming in your life. Unease, or more strongly with denial and refusal to let go of the person, relationship, or situation that is ending. Endings always signify beginnings. As in the New Beginning card, this card urges you to let go gracefully. Do not attach yourself to the emotions and the energy of what is ending. Feel it, experience it, and let it go. A slight shift in perspective is sometimes all that is needed to experience this transition with grace and ease. Instead of thinking, oh no, I have to start all over, shift your perspective slightly and think, yay, I get to start all over. This shift will raise your energetic vibrations and carry you through this time of change. This card can also signify the ending of a troublesome situation. So there you go. You know, you've got that end coming, which means you've got a new beginning. You know, you've got to launch into a new start. It's the end of this Hanged Man period. It's the end of the Nine of Swords energy and moving into something new. You know, the new day with this Fool, you know, the sun is shining. You've got that shining brightly. You're moving out of not quite knowing and using the power of this new moon with the moon there, you know, to fuel this new beginning for yourself. Ask for what you want. With the new beginning, with the new moons, ask for what you want to have happen, and you can make it happen. Finally, yeah, there you go. Unlimited possibilities, right? Ask for what you want and you can make it happen. Anything. Unlimited possibilities. You have an endless possibility available to you. So let me read that from the book as well. When fall turns into winter, the leaves fall from the trees, birds fly south, plants go dormant, some even die having lived the life they were meant to. Do we ever panic and wallow in fear that this is it? There will never be another robin singing? There will never be another ripe tomato? No, we don't. Why? We know that after winter, spring will return, followed by the bounty of summer. It is so in your life. At any given time, there are unlimited possibilities for you and yours, many different paths to take, many different options available. Do not get bogged down into thinking in a linear fashion. Open your eyes and your heart and feel the power your free will and choice brings to you. Make your life what it is meant to be. Okay, so that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. Pile number 2, that was your reading. I hope that it resonated. Let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I'd love to hear from you. If you want a more detailed reading, this was pretty general. I can get incredibly specific to you and your life and your personal situation. Feel free to check out my website, www.junodrome.com. I've got all of my options available there. And then, finally, I've just launched a Patreon page, which is another way you can help support me. A part of that is that I am creating my own hand-printed tarot deck. So check that out at www.patreon.com/junodrome. For one of the tiers, I've got a lot of bonus content, including a monthly super in-depth reading about what's going to happen for the month, how we can plan for the month, what's going to happen. And then for some tiers, there's also a mid-month check-in, which will like kind of take on from that month reading and give us a better sense of what's happening 2 weeks in. And then there'll be a video live reading between me and all of you together. So, you can ask any questions live. I want to make it so that we can all video chat with each other if we want to. It can be really like that, question answer if it needs to be. And then finally, there'll also be a reading where it'll be my hand printed tarot deck. You'll receive one card from that, and each month. So each month you'll receive a card plus my interpretation of that card in the mail. And so then over time, you'll actually build my entire tarot deck. So you have my deck. So I'm really excited for that. Check that out on Patreon. And once again, thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope you have a wonderful week. Catch you later. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is your weekly check-in. What's happening this week? What's going on? We're going to dive super in-depth today and really kind of figure out what's happening with you and your life and your situation. So stay tuned for that. This week on the 18th, we have a new moon coming in. So the new moons are all about what am I ready to let into my life? What am I ready to build? What am I ready to bring forth for me in this lifetime? And so it's this deeply connecting energy to that, like really kind of tuning in, seeing what's happening for you, seeing what's going on, and giving you that fresh new start. What can you build? What can you make happen this month? So anyway, your rune is the Manas rune. Interesting. Okay, so Manas is pretty cool. Manas is all about connecting with other people. It's community. It's humanity. It's the rune. It literally translates into man or like mankind, but it means humanity, humankind. And so it's this rune that's all about connecting in with people. So this new moon, I think, is going to be coming in with new connections for you, with really like tuning into others and community, maybe building community. With new moon energy, it's like what newness is coming in. So I think maybe new community is coming in for you, which is beautiful. So let's check out your cards here. I've got a lot of tarot and then a bunch of oracle cards, so we'll get really into that super in depth. First, you got 4 cards from the IJJ Swiss deck, so let's see what those are. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. Okay, we've got the Page of Wands. Nice. We've got the Ace of Wands. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a cool synchronicity. And we've got the King of Wands. Holy moly. Pile number 3. you are making something happen this week. And with this new moon, this is beautiful. So there's two new beginnings here, which is incredible. You both have the Ace of Wands. The aces are the very beginning of the journey. They're the first card in the deck. And you've got, it's a wand, so the wands are all about your passions, your drive, what lights you up in life, what you want to make happen, what you want to manifest in your life. So you have that ability this week to bring that in. And then you have the Page of Wands here, which is talking about, you know, new starts too. The pages are the very first of the royal cards, so they talk about being on the start of a journey, being at the beginning of something, learning new things, being the student. It can be any of that. So to have that together is telling me that you are starting this new journey where you're following your passion, where you're following your drive. And then to have the King of Wands here too, the King is the culmination card of the entire deck, or of the entire suit that it's a part of, and to have it be the culmination of this Wands energy is incredible. So you not only are you starting this new journey towards your passions or your drives, but you have the King of Wands here to tell you that it's going to be, not only is it going to be successful, but it's like you're going to feel more alive than I think maybe you ever have. You're going to feel more in depth and in it than maybe you ever have. You're going to feel more in tune with that drive and that energy and that passion to make things happen, to move things along, to move forward, to catapult yourself towards that forward moving momentum. You have so much of it here, and it's absolutely incredible. And then the final card you have is the Two of Pentacles, which talks about balance. The Pentacles are all about the material world, and you know, can be abundance, but it's also just the physical world around us. And the Two of Pentacles in particular is about juggling things and balancing things out. You know, with that, you've got kind of the infinity symbol here, and in one card it's like a juggler who's juggling those two pentacles. And so it's like this idea that you know, takes time. You know, you've got this new journey coming in, you've got this new fiery energy to make things happen, lots of fire here. And just remember to breathe. You know, remember to take some time out to rest. Remember that not everything has to happen this exact second, that you can make things happen over time. You know, with this, remember, this is a new moon, so it's an entire moon cycle. You've got the entire moon cycle on your side here, not just one day. You know, you don't have to make everything happen this second. You have the time and the space and the energy to balance it out. Make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're exercising, make sure you're eating right, make sure you're showering, make sure you're brushing your teeth, you know, all of these things, right? Make sure you're doing your laundry. Like, take some time to slow down. But I can just feel that there's this fiery, passionate excitement to go out and make something happen. So you've got that on your side. You're going to make it happen. You're charging forward, and it's incredibly exciting. I can feel this excitement just buzzing off of this. So it's just reminding you, like, as this happens, like, remember to breathe. Like, actually, let's do this together. So real quick, we're just going to take some deep breaths. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So you know, remember, take time to ground yourself too, because this is a lot of really deeply powerful energy that's buzzing through here right now. So take the time to rest, to ground, to be comfortable, to keep yourself comfortable. And yeah, as you move through this. So next up we have from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We've got 3 cards from that, so let's see what that's going on. You've got the, yep, see, exactly. 4 of Swords talks about rest. I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, totally what I was just talking about. 2 of Cups, okay, nice. Yeah, oh yeah. And yay, the 9 of Cups. Okay, friend, okay, yep. So as this new thing comes in, as you've got this passionate drive, as you've got this reigniting of your energy, of your fire, of your passion to make something happen, to go out, to charge out, to make your life happen for you, all of that like passionate energy, remember to take your rest. You've got the rest card, right? Rest. It's so important. Make sure you're getting asleep. Make sure you are not pushing too hard. You can push hard, but if you push hard, remember, you're expending energy. So give yourself time to come back into you. Give yourself time to come back into your energy. It's so important. And then you've got the Two of Cups here, which talks about reuniting parts of yourself together, making sure, coming back into harmony with you, all parts of yourself moving into one single harmonious pattern that is you, that you're not against yourself. And I see that coming in for you this week as you tap into this passionate drive. You're not going to be fighting against yourself. You're working on all cylinders within you, for you, moving you forward, right? I feel that for you. And it's going to come from you being okay with maybe going it alone sometimes, and following your passions for yourself and following your own sense of self-love, right? Filling your own cup this week. It's going to be important, and probably this month, as you make whatever's going to happen, this month might be focusing on you for a bit, and that's okay. It's reminding you that that's okay. And it's also, this card to me talks a lot about self-love sometimes, and that when you build yourself a foundation of self-love, you can make anything happen. And I mean that. When you build off a foundation of self-love, if you love yourself no matter what, if you are in tune with your own self and your own being and your own, inner light and your own inner love, and you connect that to yourself, you give love to yourself, then you can make anything happen. You can make anything happen. It takes, tuning into love. And so, you're being encouraged to do that. Let's look at the Hermetic Tarot. You've got the Page of Wands again. See? Double synchronicity. In this one, it's the Princess of Wands. You can see her. But, the Page of Wands. So there's that double wands energy. And whenever a card comes up twice, it's signifying that that's an important card. Let me show you the rest, too, and then we'll dive into that. Seven of Pentacles. And the High Priestess. Oh my gosh. Friend. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Okay, so, first up, Seven of Pentacles. That's talking about that there's still work to be done. You've done a lot of work. You've put in a ton of work. You are putting in more work. And it's not quite harvest season yet. You still got a little bit to go. There's still more to do. Remember, you've got the Page of Wands here. It's a new start towards your passions and your drive. So you're going to be putting in a lot of work, and that's okay. That's good. But just remember that this is going to take a lot of work, what you're trying to make happen, which is totally fine. But because it's going to be a lot of work, you gotta protect yourself. You gotta rest. You gotta pace yourself. That's it. Make sure that you're pacing yourself as you make this happen. Pace yourself. This isn't a sprint. You're running a marathon right now. You're running a marathon. So tune into that. Remember, you got to learn how to do it first. Marathoners train for a long time. So you're training yourself how to do this. You're training yourself moving forward, which is beautiful. And the High Priestess here is talking about tuning into your own intuition as well. So as you make this all happen, as this moves into being, as this continues to occur, you're really being encouraged to tap into that High Priestess energy, which is tapping into your own intuition, understanding how things go, and making things happen that way. Tapping into your own inner guidance and your own inner wisdom, because it's here to help you and guide you. The wands are all about tapping into your intuition and knowing what your intuition is telling you, so you can transform it into this fiery, passionate drive to make things happen. So you've got that energy this week, and it's so incredible. Like I said, I'm literally buzzing right now. So you've got this fire, so much fire, and yeah. It's so encouraging to see that, this is a passionate moment for you. So honor that, love it, be in it, enjoy it, because it's here for you, and it's going to catapult you towards, this ultimate emotional fulfillment. That's what you're working towards. That's what this is going to bring you. It's going to bring you that sense of fulfillment that you've been dreaming of for so long. It's coming in for you. It's here for you, right here, right now, and that's incredible. Next up, we have from the Fairytale Lenormand. These are your oracle cards, kind of more symbols. We've got the Gentleman here. Okay. And to me, this always looks very Shakespearean to me. He's holding out this cup, So there you go. You know, it's kind of, to me, it's tuning into this Nine of Cups energy as well. Like filling the cup and cheersing. You know, you're kind of cheersing the universe in this moment. That's like, this is you cheersing the universe, because the universe is on your side, right? You know, with this Two of Cups here, it's like you and the universe. You're like connecting in. You're like, okay, I see what I'm doing. The universe is here helping me. Let's make this happen. You know, let's charge forward. Let's make this happen, you and me. We're ready to move forward. And like, I get that. I get that energy. It's really exciting, and it's an incredibly exciting time for you. I just feel that. And this Manas rune, it talks about that, like, it can also talk about the individual, you know. Sometimes it's community, but it's also individual. It's man, you know, it's human, it's being, it's you, your being. So I think in your particular instance, it's like you're focusing on you this month, you know, and you're making your passions happen. And by doing that, that's going to actually lead you towards the new community that I was talking about. That new community can only come in for you, well, a community that's going to be aligned with you in where you're going. You know, in order to bring the community that's aligned to where you want to be into your life, you got to move yourself to that place. And that's what you're doing this month. I mean, this is a weekly reading, so this is what's starting this week, but with the new moon cycle that's coming in, that's what this new moon cycle is going to be encouraging you to do. Like really, really, really lining yourself up, putting yourself into alignment to move forward, to make things happen, to build a life that's fulfilling for you, this fulfillment energy, and connecting to the universe with that sense of fulfillment. That's really beautiful. Next up from the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. Victory. Yeah, you're going to be victorious. You got the Six of Wands. That's incredible. So whatever you set your mind to this week, and whatever you plan for the new moon, the new month coming, it's going to be victorious. You're going to be successful. It's going to work out. So cherish it, run with it, honor it, make it happen, move forward, tap into that fire, because that fire is here for you, and that is so cool. So cool. Finally, we have two cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. I read directly from the book for these so that you get somebody else's words, you get some more advice, you get a little bit extra. We got the Truth card. Okay, tuning into your own truth. You know the truth. With that Intuition card, the High Priestess card, tapping into your intuition, you know, you can tap into that. And it's also about flying above from a higher perspective, from a different perspective, not seeing the forest for the trees, you know, and not getting lost in the small details, but seeing the big picture, knowing the big picture, flying into the big picture. Let me read that from the book. The eagle proudly surveys its domain from such a high perch that all pertaining to this situation is revealed. The shadows hide nothing from his keen vision. Once you can remove yourself from the muck that lower vibrations keep you in, you can attain a viewpoint that enables you to see the truth of the matter. This card advises you to search for the truth of the situation, regardless of the emotions it brings up. Are you or someone connected to you unconsciously suppressing the truth? Hiding from the truth can only intensify the lessons later on. Okay, so yeah, you know, like, you're going to have this clear vision coming in forward, you know, for you. As you break into this new period, you're going to start seeing things as they are. And sometimes that can be difficult, and sometimes it's liberating. It just depends on your perspective, and it depends on what's happening. But, you know, as you move forward towards following your own passions and your drive, you know, remember to follow your own passions and your own drive. You know, don't feel like you have to do what other people want from you. You know, that you can find a way forward where you can fulfill yourself, and that fulfillment is going to be the path forward for you. And tapping back into your intuition is going to help you see what that is. And don't allow yourself to be, you know, talked out of it. Don't allow yourself to have somebody talk you out of your passions and your drives and what you need for you. You know, that's for you. That's yours. It's not anybody else's. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. What do you need for you? That's what's important. Finally, we've got the Abundance card. Yes! So this is bringing you towards abundance. I was feeling that abundant energy, but we didn't have many cards talking about it, but here it is. So this is what you're moving towards, friend. This is what you're moving towards. Abundance. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me read it from the book. Abundance takes on many forms. Material possessions, friendships, that community, new community, excellent health, emotional stability, that Nine of Cups, emotions, yeah. Ultimate emotional fulfillment. And emotional stability, unique experiences. When you lock yourself into a narrow view on what defines abundance, you lose out on the whole picture of what it could mean. Open yourself up to as many forms of wealth and abundance that are possible and watch your blessings multiply. Always remember that focusing on what you do not have is a surefire way to feed the energy and make it your truth. Every day, watch for signs of abundance from the universe, acknowledge and be thankful, thus encouraging the continued flow of energy. Remember, the universe will always provide you with what you need. Yeah, so there you go. I think that's great. Pile number 3, that was your reading for you. What a week for you. Oh man, this is beautiful. I think this new moon is going to bring in a lot of really incredible things for you. So stay tuned for that. That's awesome. That's so awesome. It's really great. Anyway, if you ever want a more detailed reading, because this one was super general, I can get way more specific to you and your life and your situation, feel free to check out my website, www.junodrome.com, for my readings. I've got a couple options available, so I'd love to dive in deep with you, tune into your life, and kind of help you figure out what's going on. Next up, I have a new Patreon page that I'm really excited to promote for you. It's another way that you can help support me, and it's going to offer you a lot as well. So there's a couple of tiers where I can give you way more bonus content than you can receive for free on my channel. I'm going to be doing monthly check-ins, so you can get a super in-depth monthly reading about what's going to happen this month, what's going on. We've got a mid-month check-in, so it's sort of like where from there is what's happening. What's going to happen now that you know what's already been happening in the month? How does that connect in for you? How do you wrap up this month well? And then we've got a live reading, one-on-one live reading, not one-on-one, sorry, one-on-all live reading, where I'm going to be reading live, and then you can tune in as well to that reading, and then we can chat together as a community. We can talk together, and then yeah, you know, you got that Manaz rune there. Maybe I'm your new community. I don't know. I'm here for you. So hit me up. And then, yeah, finally, the last part of that Patreon page is I'm creating my own tarot deck. I'm super excited about it. It's a hand-printed deck. And so I'm going to be selling that eventually to the public. But before I do, my Patreon subscribers will have firsthand access to that deck. So you'll receive in the mail once a month a card from me with a card from the tarot deck. And so that you can build the deck over time. So you'll have an entire deck over a period of time, which is incredible. And then it'll also come with a sort of a translation of what that card means to me and what's going on with that. So anyway, that was my spiel. Thank you so much, pile number 3, for tuning in today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you later. Hey there, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading today. So this is a weekly check-in on kind of what's going to go on this week, what's happening, what are the energies, what's moving around this week. And one major celestial event that's occurring this week is the new moon. So we have a new moon on the 18th of August. Incredibly exciting because new moons are all about new energy, moving things forward. What can we create? We can jumpstart that newness energy to bring in new things into our lives. So it's all about that. What are you bringing into your life? What do you want to bring in? What do you want to make happen? So we'll kind of see what that is for you. We'll jump right in here, starting with the rune. You've got the Rido. This means to ride. It talks about like riding on horseback back in the day, but you know, it's movement. It's moving, charging forward. Kind of, you can think of it like the chariot sometimes too, with that like riding forward, riding off into the sunset, catapulting yourself forward. So you, in particular, pile number 4, are really, really going to be tuning into this new moon energy and using it to catapult yourself forward to whatever you're moving into next, which is so exciting. We've got some tarot cards, some oracle cards. We'll get into all of it. First up, we're going to do the tarot. I've got 3 cards from the 1JJ Swiss deck. Let's see what we got. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. And we've got the Star. Oh, pile number 4, you got the Star. That is absolutely incredible. I'm super excited about that. So the Star is beautiful, right? This is this energy of like, the Star comes after the Tower. The Tower is like this card that has a cataclysmic change, right? It's like ending of some things, it's external stuff, your whole world's shaken up. And then comes the Star, which is this beautiful, loving, nurturing, open energy. It's also kind of Aquarius energy. So you might be an Aquarius, you might have Aquarius heavily in your chart, or you know an Aquarius. Don't have to. But anyway, that's potential. But the thing about the Star is that, like, you know, it's following your own North Star, your own guidance. You are the star of your life, you know, and it's beautiful. And that star energy is coming in to show you that you have that moving forward. This next phase that's opening up in your life is going to be star based. You know, you've got the star energy on your side, which is awesome. So anyway, we've got the Star there. Like I said, you've got the 8 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knights are all about movement. It's what's happening in the suit that it's talking about. It's the movement happening in it. And so when I pull them, I tend to read them as the movement that's happening into your life. And with this movement rider, Reido rune that you have there as well, you know, the movement that's happening is in the material. It's in the physical. It's in abundance. It's in health. It's in friendships. It's in your world around you. So you're moving through that. That's the energy that's coming in. And with this 8 of Pentacles card, it talks about hard work. So I see that you've put in a lot of hard work to try to make something happen, and that you're going to continue to put in the hard work, but you're just about ready to harvest that work now. And you're being encouraged to do that buckling down, working hard, making something happen, leads to results. And you know, you've got that coming to you, you know, so keep working hard, because the Star is on your side. You've got the Star energy coming into your life, and you've got so much movement in this. So this is absolutely beautiful. Next up, you have 4 cards from the Rider-Waite Smith deck. We've got the 2 of Wands. Yeah, okay. We've got the World. Oh my God, pile number 4. This is amazing. Queen of Wands. Oh, and the 8 of Cups. Yep. Oh, wow. This is so great, guys. This is so wonderful. Like, good for you. Good for you. This whole period, good for you. You've been working hard to make something happen. You've been working a long time to make something happen. And you know what? This new moon is saying, here it is. Here it is. You've been working hard, and it's coming in for you. You know, you got the 2 of Wands here, which talks about planning off for the future. He's standing, looking at the globe. It talks about going off on a journeying, maybe physical or internal or life journey. You know, your life journey has been working really hard to bring something new into the world. And because of that, you have the World here. You know, you have the World card. And maybe with the World and the 2 of Wands here, maybe you are planning a trip. Maybe you are going to go off and travel somewhere. That's potential for this. You might be traveling, but even if you're not, you know, whatever you've been working really hard to make happen is coming in for you now. And the World talks about too this like It's like a graduation card. It's moving to the next phase of your life, but it's like moving up. You know, you've graduated from that level and now you're in the next level, you know, because you've moved forward. You're moving on, you're moving forward. And then talk about moving on. The Eight of Cups is literally that. It's the card about walking away and moving into a new thing. It's like going into something new and leaving something else behind. And it can be kind of a bittersweet sometimes kind of sad, but you know, it's like these 8 cups have lasted this person for a while, right? They've been the tried and true 8 cups for this person, but after a while they stopped working. They weren't enough anymore. They're not gonna fit this person's life anymore. And so this person is ready to walk away from those cups to find the cups that fit for them now. And that's okay. You know, it talks about that's okay. It's okay to walk away from situations. It's okay to walk away from things that maybe were really important to you at one point, but they don't have to be anymore. And that's okay. That you can move on. That it's okay to move on. It's okay to move out. It's okay to move forward. There's nothing wrong with that. And with the Queen of Wands here, you know, queens are, she's got this like fiery, passionate drive to make anything happen. She's gonna go out and build whatever she wants, you know. She's gonna go out and make her life hers. She's gonna go out and make things happen. She's gonna go out and build a strong life for herself because that's what she needs. And she's okay with that. She's okay, you know, to be the lady in charge. And just make things happen. What do I want? Okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make it happen. What needs to be here? All right, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna go out and we're gonna make it happen. And that's beautiful, you know. And she can also like, I need help. I don't know how to do all this all the way. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find that help, and that help is gonna help me make it happen. You know what I mean? It's like she's not only like, she doesn't need to do everything alone, but she can make things happen. She's like that fiery transformation, you know, passionate drive to make, to do, to be, to allow, which is beautiful. Next up, you have some cards from the Hermetic Tarot. We've got the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. We've got the 9 of Wands. Okay. And we've got the Page of Cups. Okay, great. So I think this last phase that you've been in, I think that the situation that was occurring in your life was a challenging one. And so like what you're coming out of has been really, really hard. So I think this is probably a really refreshing thing for you to be hearing right now. So congratulations, friend. It's never easy to go through difficult situations, but with the 5 of Pentacles here, that's the Dark Night of the Soul card. That's the card where, like, you know, some stuff has gone down for this person. And I've been there. I've been through an incredibly difficult and dark and challenging situations in my life, so I know exactly what this feels like. In fact, this entire pile might actually be for me as well as it is for you, so we'll see. I tend to do readings and then pull my own pile at the end and kind of see which one's pulling me, so we'll see if this one's pulling me or not. But regardless of that, the thing about this Dark Night of the Soul period is that it's actually like not only is it that a challenging thing or situation has occurred in your life, but it's kind of like this idea that it's a catalyst and a catapult for changing your life and your situation, for learning how to see things from a new way. And it's this idea of transforming experience into wisdom. So you have the wisdom now moving forward from this period, right? It can talk about spiritual awakenings too. The Dark Night of the Soul period is kind of what has to happen before a spiritual awakening can occur, because you have to be brought to this like deeply challenging, sometimes bleak feeling situation in order to see that there's more to life, that there's more going on, that there's beauty present for us, that there's ability for us, and that these hard, challenging periods can actually illuminate that for us, and allow us to have that moving forward with our lives. We've got the 9 of Wands here, which is talking about, you know, it's like, yeah, you've been through that struggle, right? You've been through some tough stuff, and now you're kind of standing there, like in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's a man who's standing with those wands, and he's kind of like, oh, like, okay, like, look at all this stuff I've been through. Like, I'm ready to battle more if I have to, but oh man, you know, it's that, like, that battle-hardened soldier, you know? You've kind of got that going on, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It just means that, like I said, transforming experience into wisdom. So you've been through hell and back, you know? You have been. You've been through some tough as nails stuff. And you know what? That makes you a stronger person now. That makes you strong. And you know, you're still a loving, kind, nurturing person, you know, especially with that star energy. You still have the ability to do that, and the Page of Cups here. But that's where you've been. You know, you went through that struggle period, but now you're graduating from that. You're moving on. You're putting that aside. You know how to let go of that now. You know how to walk away from that. You don't have to get stuck in that, because you can see now what brought those things on. You can see now the life situations that occurred, the situations, the people, the stuff, all of that. You can see the patterns in it now. And you're like, oh, I don't have to keep that going. I can walk away from that now. I can move on. I can build something else. I can move somewhere else. I can make something else. I can make something happen. And I can leave all of that behind. And, you know, by doing that, you're starting a new journey. The pages and the princesses are new starts, new journey in a different direction. And it's the Page of Cups. So it's a new journey in love, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, emotional well-being, your own inner happiness, your own inner light. You're moving towards your own happiness now. You're putting your happiness first. The energy that's happening, this new life with the abundant energy, you've been working really hard on trying to make something happen. And now is coming in for you. Now is the time that it's coming in for you, right here, right now. And it's, you know, it's going to take walking away from some things, and that might be challenging. It's always bittersweet and challenging to walk away from a situation, always. And that's okay. It's okay to have that. It's okay to allow that to be hard, but you can still do it, and you can still do it. And it's like encouraging to remember what's on the other side of that walking away. What's on the other side? What are you opening up? What are you opening towards? What are you moving towards? And, you know, you're moving towards this Cups energy, which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Next up we have from the Fairytale Lenormand, we've got the Coffin, okay, which is encouraging you to rest. I read this card as kind of like a Four of Swords, like rest card. It can be death as well, so death too. Death is a change. So you not only is this encouraging you to rest, it's take a breather, take a break, you know. With that Nine of Wands, you've been through a lot. With that Five of Pentacles, you've been through some tough stuff, some dark places, some difficult situations, and you're pulling yourself out of it. So give yourself a break. You know, you're following your star, you're following your inner North Star, your guidance, your intuition. You're following it. That's wonderful. Keep going, keep following, keep moving. And you know, you've got that you know, that rest energy. The rest is important for you. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't push too hard. You can push hard to make things happen. Move towards it. But also, you know, take breaks. You know, sleep. Make sure you're getting your sleep. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And then also, with it being the Death card, death isn't scary in the tarot. It actually just means change. It means radical transformation of your consciousness. So you're moving into a new state of being. You're moving into a new mindset. You're moving into a new way of perceiving the world. You're moving into that new, all of that. And that's what's open for you. That's what's open for you this week. And this new moon in particular, which is a month-long cycle, starts this week. So that's what's opening up to you this week, and it's incredible. It's absolutely beautiful. From the Wild Unknown Tarot, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Ultimate abundance. Abundance is coming in for you, your world. You know, that movement in the physical, what's happening, you're opening up an abundant life for yourself, and it's absolutely beautiful. And don't be afraid to like go it alone for a minute in order to make that happen. You know, sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes that's what we have to do, you know, especially if you're leaving behind, you know, if you're moving, maybe you're moving into a new house, you know, so you're going to be leaving some people behind as you move, you know, you're moving to a new city, or you're even just across town, but a new community, you know, so, you know, you're moving to follow this abundance, and that's okay. You can leave things behind. There's nothing wrong with leaving things and people and situations and stuff and anything that's not working. You can leave that behind, and you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel bad. It's just you're opening yourself into a new phase of life, and that's happens. People do that all the time. People change. People move on. Life moves for all of us. It's constantly and continuously shifting and moving into a new thing and becoming something else. So, just remember that. You're moving towards abundance. You're moving towards following your dreams, and the world is coming up to meet you because it's excited for you, Tap into that mother energy, mother earth energy too. Mother Earth is so kind and so gentle, so wonderful. I have a grounding meditation on my channel that's like a connect to Mother Earth, connect to nature. That can help with that too. Just to remind yourself that you're not alone, because she's always with us. And by following this abundance, you can follow abundance and be connected to Mother Earth. You can find abundance that's going to be a benefit and a positive thing to this planet. That's available to all of us to do that kind of thing. So, you're being encouraged to take that time to really make that work for yourself. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Next up from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, we've got the Ascension card. Oh yeah, of course we do. That makes sense. Let me read it. I'm going to read these directly from the book so you get somebody else's words. Some of those following a spiritual path have ascension as the ultimate goal. However, ascension, portrayed in art and literature as a great leap into instant nirvana, is actually a giant work of, art and fiction. Rather, ascension is the process of conscious living. We are all spiritual beings. We are all souls in human body who are living life on earth in order to learn and to grow at the soul's level. That is being spiritual. Whether you are conscious of it or not, you are walking towards ascension. Each experience, relationship, obstacle, joy, and creation will bring you one step closer on the ladder to where we all end, with a greater awareness of ourselves that we started out with. This situation, at its best, is a rung on the ladder of your soul's path towards ascension. The situation you are inquiring about is assisting you on this ladder. Yeah, see, you're moving up, like I was saying with that world card. Work at the bigger picture and know you are bigger than any issues or problems you may have. So beautiful. That's so beautiful. That's exactly what this pile has been talking about. You're moving into something new. You're moving on with that Eight of Cups here. You're moving on into a new energy. And it's going to be one that's following a sense of peace, a sense of calm, your own inner peace. You're following that inner peace. And it's beautiful. Final card we have is the sexual energy card. Okay, so you got some creative energy going on here too. The sexual energy, the sacral. It's all in the sacral chakra. And that's all about, this sort of creative spark. So maybe that you've got some creativity coming on here too. In the purest sense, sexual energy is not an energy to be expanded from you. It is a state to reside in. The first and second chakras are the root of our sexual feelings. When you use this very potent energy to manipulate people and situations, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. When you expand your life force energy up from your first two chakras and incorporate the energy from your heart and your crown, you can experience the most complete and divine experience of sexual energy possible. This doesn't even have to include another person. When you can merge your connection to the Creator with your connection to the Earth, without any filters or blocks between the two, you will experience a complete and true connection. We act as the conduit between heaven and earth, and when we can put ourselves into this energy at any time, we are not tempted to use our sexual energy in a way that feeds our need for validation, nor are we easily manipulated by another's outputting of sexual energy. This card is asking you to look at where sexual energy is directed in your life. So yeah, I don't know if that's helpful for you. I feel like, to me, that card, it fits, kind of. But anyway, that was your reading. I hope that it all makes sense to you. I hope that you like it. Please let me know in the comments either way. I love hearing from all of you. It's so great. I want to thank all of my new YouTube subscribers. I'm so excited to have you with me. Please feel free to subscribe for more content. If you ever want to get more in depth with me, because this was kind of a general reading, I can get super specific about you and your personal life and your situation. So just head over to my website, www.junodrome.com. where I have all my readings listed. I would love to do one for you, so check in with that. And then I'm really excited to announce that I've started a Patreon page where I'm asking for your support to help keep this channel going and really make it a thing. There's a lot of extra bonus content available on there that you can't get anywhere else, so please check that out. There'll be a super in-depth once a month reading where we're going to talk about everything that's going on for the month. I'm going to get as detailed as I can, read a ton of cards. We're going to get real into everything. I'm going to throw out all the bells and whistles and just make that a huge wow. So you got that. Then there's going to be a mid-month check-in where we did that kind of like, okay, this is what things were happening, and now we can see where we are a little bit further with that mid-month check-in. And then there's going to be a live reading where there'll be a chat functionality, and maybe even, you can web chat in there with me, where you can ask specific questions for me. We can talk and chat together as a community. And then finally, I'm starting my own hand printed tarot deck. And my Patreon supporters will be some of the first people to receive that deck. I'll send you a card once a month in the mail with my description of that card, so that over time you'll actually end up building an entire deck from me. So anyway, pile number 4, that was my reading. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope that it does you well. I hope that you have a great week, and that the new moon is all that I can see this reading is telling me it's going to be for you. So catch you later. Thanks, friends.